Hi there, and welcome back to Squatober, day 27. Hope you've all had a great weekend. If you're new here, I'm Shark. It's nice to meet you. Let's go ahead and get into our program. For those of you who don't know what Squatober is a month-long program that tells you how you should work out every day of October, and at the end of the month, you go for a PR squat. Now, if you have small legs have been called chicken legs at least once in your life, I recommend checking out Sore Neck Squatober on Instagram and giving their program a shot. Now, back to the video. Today is titled Move Weights with Intent. It has us doing back squat first, back squat with intent. 5 reps at 60, 3 reps at 70, 2 reps at 80, 1 rep at 85, then 1 rep at 88, then 1 rep at 90%. 6 total sets, 13 total reps, and 2.5 minutes between sets. The next thing is bench press with intent. 3 reps at 70, 3 reps at 80, 3 reps at 82, and then 3 reps at 85. 2.5 minute rest in between sets. And then the third thing is barbell bent over rows, 3 sets of 5 reps. Heavy, it says. Then it has cardio, which is easy bar, barbell, skull crushers, but we're not going to do that. Anyway, the biggest thing I have a problem with is the bent over rows. One, because I hate doing barbell rows. Two, because, well, my back is fucked up. I've been sleeping pretty good and eating good, and I've been massaging the fuck out of my back all weekend, but it's still not there. Luckily, my Timu massage gun came in, but I mean, it can only do so much. So I'm trying to heal my back as best as possible, but it still is not great. I don't think I'm going to be able to hit a back day this week, and it probably wouldn't be smart either to try and re-injure my back as we have to PR squat in 3 days. So that's where we are right now. Shit. And of course, in typical shark fashion, we have the TNT, and it's shark flavored. I think there's real sharks in that. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to do any lifting after today's program. I haven't decided yet, especially because I don't know how those barbell rows are going to feel. But I may do a tiny leg day since, we probably shouldn't hit legs the rest of the week because we have to PR squat Thursday, I believe. So I don't know. I'm going to play around with that. But let me go and get my sleeves on and stretch out a little bit more, and I'll catch you at the first thing on today's program. Here are back squat with intent. 5 reps at 60%. We're going off of our actual max instead of our training max, and the reason I'm doing that is because, well, my training max started to make me feel weak just doing this. So I feel like I need to get my muscles in check before we, have to PR squat fucking Thursday in a few days. It doesn't change a whole lot. Not crazy enough for me to be scared of it or anything. My 60% of 350 was 210, I think. Can't do 210 because we don't have 2.5, so this is 215. It is for 6 reps. Wait, we only have to do this for 5 reps. Not that bad. Just gonna crank them. This is our 3 reps at 70%. I think my 70% was exactly 245, so there was no plan to be done with the weights, which is good. I guess we should go ahead and hit it. Groundhog Day is such a weird fucking thing. That concept in total is strange. 3 reps didn't feel bad. Our next set is 2 at 80, I believe, so I'll catch you then. Now our 2 reps at 80. 80% for me was 280, so if she ain't 280, she's not a lady. Anyway, 280. Couldn't do 280 because we don't have 2.5s. So we have 285, which isn't that big of a jump, 5 pounds. I mean, if you're in you know, competition, powerlifting, that 5 pounds can make a difference. It's a good thing we're not doing that. I would get killed. All right, 2 reps. All right. I think our next is at 90%. And then I think it's maybe 1 at 95. I don't remember. But let me go ahead and get that weight on. Well, I was completely wrong. It's actually at 85%. It's 1 rep at 85, I think 88, and then 90. Whatever. 1 rep at 85 was 297 for me. So ideally we do 300 pounds. Can't do 300 pounds because we don't have 2.5. So this is 305. It's whatever. 1 rep. Nice. This is our one rep at 88%. My 88% of 350, again, we're going off of my real max, not my training max. Off of 350 was like 308. And ideally, we'd be at 310. We can't do 310 because we don't have 2.5s. So what we have here is 315. We don't have to do this for one rep. So, I mean, it's like, does it really matter? The quick answer is no. So we're going to go ahead and do this for our one rep. Next jump is to 90, and I don't know, that's probably going to be around 325, 335. The only reason we'd go to 335 is, well, cockiness, probably. So let me rest up and get that weight on, and I'll see you at our last set. This is our last set of back squat. It's our one rep at 90%. My 90% of 350, once again, my actual max instead of my training max. The only reason I'm doing that is, I don't know, it's a mind thing that I'm playing with myself. Anyway, so that put me at 315, and we just did a set of 315. So the only other thing to do is obviously to go up. We could have gone up to 325 or 335. I was going to do 335, and then I was like, wait, we just come back from like a weekend off. And I felt like it'd be stupid to, I don't know, risk injury. I mean, to be honest, it would not happen, but in the, you know, 3% that it does, I'd rather it not. So we're playing it safe and went with 325. We only got to do it for one rep. I'm not even belting up because, in all honesty, this isn't enough for me to feel like I should belt up. Also, I don't want to become dependent on a belt or anything like that. I'm going to go ahead and admit that I am pretty dependent on these knee sleeves because my knees are kind of fucked from all the squatting I've been doing. Squatting the other day without them on definitely felt weird. I'll admit it. It felt very strange. I mean, I still did the reps or whatever, but it was very weird, very offsetting, off-putting even. One rep. Well, now we're done with back squat. What I can say confidently is my back hurts off of doing this. I'm very confident that my back problems are stemming from as much back squatting as we're doing. Because again, when you're pulling into the bar, you're making your back tight, and while doing that, you are, pulling your shoulder blades and like rhomboids, everything together. And according to my buddy and Google, it seems that I'm suffering from success. Basically, I'm doing such a good brace that I'm flexing my rhomboids and it's causing back problems. That's just we're on the street, So that's kind of a shame. The bright side, I have been recovering bit by bit, being that I have stopped hitting back with it. So there's less strain on my rhomboids and traps and even lats, because again, I'm not doing back. I haven't hit back since not this past Thursday, but Thursday before that. So over a week. It's so weird. My lats don't have all that blood pumping through them, so I just feel so small. Hate it. These sets weren't too bad. We got bench to do and then barbell rows. We're gonna see how I feel about the barbell rows because my back being fucked up, I don't want to mess it up more. That seems dumb. So let me go and get this weight off, get everything cleaned up here, and I'll see you over at our bench session. This is our 3 reps at 70 on bench. I already warmed up. I warmed up with 225, and then I did the math, and yeah, our program would have been really skewed if I went off of just 90%, and it would have been really skewed if I went off of 100. The reason why is because with doing very tiny jumps, like 80 to 82%, like we don't have 2.5, so we can't really go up in increments of 5 pounds. So every jump would have been 10 pounds each, if not more. We ended up going off of a training max of 92%. That put us at 203 for our first set. We got to do this for 3 reps. It's in increments of 3 instead of 5, 3, 2, 1, 1, something like that. Let's go ahead and hit this for our first 3. This is our 3 reps at 80, going off of 92% of our real max, again, which makes my training max 290 for this. 290, 80% put me at like 232 or something. It was something weird. The point is we have 235 on the bar. I'm going to keep doing Larson press until I feel too weak to do it. For those of y'all who don't know what like Larson pressing is, basically it just, your feet on the bench, you don't really have any leg drive. It pretty much is like full focus on chest. which is nice. It also makes you look really strong if you do a lot of weight on it. This isn't enough weight to be considered really strong doing it, but point is if I had like 315 on, you'd be like, holy shit, who is this guy? We're not there yet. Let's go ahead and this for 3 reps. I turned those into pause reps. I'm not really sure why. I think our next set's at 90 though, so that's good. All right, we didn't take our like 3 minute break or whatever the fuck it told us to do. This is our third set. This is at 82%. 82% of 290, which is 92% of our real max. 82% of 290 was like 237, which ideally we do 240. We can't do that because we don't have 2.5s. So this is 245, 3 reps, and then the last set is at 85, I think. I'm kind of surprised it's not going to 90%. I feel like that'd been more ideal, but I think it's because we're on our last week of this program, and this is like PR week. I think it's trying to focus more for legs, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, 3 reps. Okay, well, that was 82%. 245 honestly moved pretty good, especially for, being Larson pressing it. Our last set's at 85. That's probably going to be, I don't know, 255, 260, somewhere in there. But I'll catch you for our last set. Last and final set of bench press. It has us doing 85%. 85 and 290 was, I think it was like 247, something like that. Ideally, we do 250, but we don't have 2.5s at this gym. So we're doing 255. A 5 pound jump above what we're supposed to be at. It really doesn't matter that much. We only got to do 3 reps of this. Let's go ahead and crank them out real quick. I still plan to Larson press this. I think until we get to like the 275 range is when ideally we would go ahead and do normal bench stance, by the way. Larson press get a little bit scary there. And the only reason for that is because we have some really fuck ass benches here. These benches are so weird that my buddy literally brings bands to not slide around on them. He'll put 2 bands on each side, which creates like a rubber friction for your back, so you don't really slide around too much. Also, these benches are thinner than the benches I like. I don't know if any of y'all out there have a Rogue bench at your gym, but them Rogue benches are thick, dude, and they're really grippy because they're not this like leathery kind of thing. They're more like a hybrid. They almost feel like Kevlar. Yeah, so these benches kind of suck. We still got 3 reps, no problem, but they just weren't as good as I would have liked them to look. That's it for bench. That's cool. We now have bent over rows. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do them or not, and the only reason for that, again, is because my back's fucked up. I'd really hate for, like, on PR week to injure my back more and not have my back to PR because it's almost impossible to do a really good squat without being able to squeeze your back properly. It's kind of like the whole point when you pull yourself into the bar. We're going to see how that feels. It wants us to go heavy, and heavy for me would be around like 225. Depending on how it feels, we may stay at like 135, 155, somewhere in there. Maybe even 175. I don't know. I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. I'll catch you over to our rows if we do them. All right, so here's what we've come up with. I can do barbell rows, just not very heavyweight. We're gonna take this as like a stepping stone into getting back our like back gains. This does hurt my rhomboid. Granted, I mean we are fucking full squeezing back, when you do a row. It's supposed to be 3 sets of 5 of heavyweight. This isn't really that heavy to me, but again, we're coming back from a back injury, and in all honesty, it's not very smart to hit back when you have a back problem. It's kind of like the opposite of what you're supposed to do, but this isn't. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't a lot of weight. To me, it's not. But there may be the thing where I wake up tomorrow and like I'm like, holy fuck, my back is even worse. Ow, 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 kind of thing, right? I don't think that's gonna happen. If it does, well, I guess you reap what you sow. You know what I mean? 3 sets of 5 shouldn't be bad. I'm just. I don't want to say like I'm scared because that makes me sound stupid. I don't know. I don't want to make my back worse because it's already. This is seriously like probably the worst injury that I've had in the gym so far. And again, I've had strained hamstrings and all that kind of shit before. The problem is you're fucking squeezing your back with almost every, you know, muscle group you hit. Even if you're doing it unconsciously, I mean, you are, you're, gripping hard, and that's just squeezing together your back, So I'm feeling it in almost everything that I do. In other words, it sucks. And also, again, like my back is something I like take a lot of pride in. I really do. My back is pretty nice. Again, it's one of my strong points of my build. And with not being able to hit it in over a week, dude, I feel so small. So let's go ahead and hit this for our first set of five. If it feels bad in our first set of five, then that's it. The idea here is, by the way, is that with doing lightweight, it's kind of, again, just getting us back into our back days. Hopefully, just to help us stretch out. Who knows? Didn't feel too bad, but definitely didn't feel great. I think we're going to try this for one more set. And if the second set really does feel bad, that's it. That was his last chance. Second set of 5 reps. My back doesn't feel great, but again, if it doesn't feel good after this set, then we're just not going to do it for our third set. Well, my back still hurts, so that sucks, but not enough for it to not be hit for one more set. What I'm also noticing, like literally mid rep, is that my right side is more down than my left. I don't know if that means that I've been massaging my right side so much that it's, like more loose and, it's more relaxed. It's not as tight as my left lat. I'm not sure. Or if it means that if I'm more dominant on my right side in terms of back muscles. I mean, I am, of course, right hand dominant, which pretty much translates to my entire body. I'm not even, one of those weird people where I'm like right hand dominant and I'm left legged or something like that. No, just full right side. The left side of me, dude. I don't know what happened, but I swear I'm like, I don't even know, disabled. So we're gonna hit this one for one more set. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do anything after this. I'm thinking about doing maybe a tiny bit of legs, like one set each. I know I need to stretch out. The plan is to do dead hangs, maybe rhomboid pull-ups, and then roll out my back. And I'm obviously still gonna do all my massaging and fucking try to even use a massage gun on it tonight as well when I get home. So anyway, let me catch you for the last set of this. This is our last set of barbell rows. I've never been a fan of barbell rows. All right, let's get the truth out there. I'm not a huge fan of these. My buddy loves them. Dude, like, honestly, I don't think there's anything that he loves more than barbell rows. Probably benching, which is okay with me, but damn, I hate barbell rows, dude. Like, any movement that causes me to, have an arched back kind of stance, I just hate it. Like, I hate RDLs. I hate this. Not a fan of this shit. It also makes me feel weak when I do it because, if I'm doing this with 225, dude, it looks like I'm struggling like hell. The goal would be to have 3 plates on each side doing rows of this, but that's just not happening. All right. Simply put, I'm not rowing 315. I can row 225, but I feel a lot more comfortable rowing 185 because then I get really clean reps out of it. My buddy's one of those guys that would rather go super crazy on a movement versus having moderate weight and clean reps. So he'll throw on fucking 315, and it won't be great form. It's probably maybe 60 to 70%, proper form. But he does move the weight, which is good. My 225 is around the same thing, about 75% of 100, and 100 being again perfect form. Point is, I just hate these. That was the that was the gist of everything. Let's go into this for our last set of 5, and then we're gonna decide what we do in terms of workouts after this program. I'm gonna stretch out regardless. That's non-negotiable, but we're gonna see about legs. One last set of 5. All right. Well, that wraps that up. What I ended up doing is putting my back a little bit more parallel and getting a full deep stretch. The reason for that is I'm hoping that if I stretch out my back enough that my back will heal quicker. I don't know if, like how much that's true. If I'm overloading my back, I guess we'll find out. But I really want to get back into hitting my back days because even doing this on camera, 135 barbell rows, just makes me feel so pathetic. If I was you know recording this, I would want to have at least 225 on, but it's all right, I guess. The whole world thinks I'm weak. I really do want to get back into hitting some really hard back days though, because again, my lats are something that I take great pride in. Like I can do the whole lat man thing. Anyway, I think I am gonna do like one set of hamstring curls and then one set of leg curls for quads, and then stretch out. I think that's the plan. I'm gonna go ahead and take the weight off here and go and do one set of each, and I guess I'll catch you at the pose downs. Well, we did do a tiny bit of legs. I did one set of leg extensions for quads, and then I did one set single leg hamstring curl because we have a pretty nice machine at this gym. I also did a little bit of abs. I did one set of ab crunches on a machine, and then I did dead hangs and rhomboid pull-ups. Anyway, today wasn't too bad. I guess we should go ahead and get a little pump check in real quick and close this out. Well, that pretty much wraps up everything. Again, not a terrible day. We did go up a lot in weight in terms of percentages. We didn't really follow that, but it doesn't really matter. We are PRing in a few days, so a little time crunch. It's starting to get real. In other words, if you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate you being here. Suppose I'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow looks like I don't know. It looks kind of weird. It kind of just looks like we're prepping for something, which we are. We're prepping for a PR squat. I think it's got us doing like squats, deadlift, and then something else, and it's like snatch grip deadlift too. So it's kind of weird. Should be all right. And if I don't see you, I want to wish you all a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Once again, I thank you for being here, and I'll catch you all around. Bye.